Love it.
I love having that drop.
Oh, it's so good. Need more of that in my life. Every time I wake up, that's my alarm. That should be my new alarm. That'd be just great. Out of bed.
ready to start the day.
Just coming up like that.
Man, I'm just gonna sprint out of bed. I'm ready.
I love it.
You are listening to Unlaced, a triathlon podcast. I'm your host, John O'Newland, along with Jimmy, Outside Ride Newland, and Kane, Desert Storm Reisner. We are here to entertain you through your workout, not teach you how to work out. But you might learn something along the way. Outside Ride. Cash me outside? Ride?
I was outside an hour ago on my bike for the first time this year, and it felt amazing. We went for our first... The Wheelie Cool Club. We went for the Wheelie Cool Bike Club. We went for our first ride outside this year, and it was awesome.
Nice.
It was beautiful weather. We just went for 10, which is pretty tough. Yeah, well, actually, me and Ty went for 10, averaging like 16, and then James and Scott came, and they went 12, averaging like 19 and a half or something. James is nuts.
Sad I had to miss it. So is it just four? Just four of you guys?
Just four of us this time, yeah.
Nice.
And I don't know. It's going to get cold again next week, so I don't know if we'll be outside next week. Hopefully.
Still mid-50s, though. That's outside rideable.
Mid-50s is outside rideable.
We have a guy who bikes year-round here. He just he layers up.
Bundles up.
I'm afraid. We've had great weather. It was 85 degrees here today.
Yeah. Same.
Oh, you guys had it too. Nice. Never mind that. No, we have. I'm afraid of the hills and the cars in the blind corners, so I need to just find some good routes. So I haven't popped the bike off yet.
We need to find a buddy.
Yeah, I do have one. I just gotta coordinate it, get it going.
No, I took my daughter for a walk in her little wagon this afternoon, and I almost got run over on a corner. This guy came flying around the corner, had plenty of time. He's like clearly saw me pulling a 1-year-old in a wagon, and just flew right by at like 60 miles an hour. Didn't even try to get over.
Did you do a why I oughta?
I oughta.
If I had a squirt gun, I would have squirted it. Yeah,
that was a squirt gun noise.
Get the cat.
All right, outside ride. Well, congrats. That's a big milestone. That's starting the season.
And I've been running too. I've ran on 3 runs already, so it's getting started. It's all tough, and it's all getting harder. Well, not harder, but it should get easier the more I run. But there's a lot of
so frustrating.
Get smacked in the face.
Yeah, it really. But it's kind of nice. I'm kind of excited to see the improvement by sticking to it.
Yeah, I have to just sit down and plan out like what my week will look like, adding in where I need to drop some workouts and add runs and bikes, and I just haven't yet. So I've just been my typical Monday, Wednesday, Friday exercise, and then Tuesday, Thursday swim. So I sprinkled in runs throughout, but I haven't done biking for a little bit, so I need to get back on that.
Those quads burning.
Yeah, I think I've learned this winter that a discipline in one, or a being in shape in one discipline, does not translate to another or another.
How'd you figure that out?
I just got off of by pain and agony.
Is this Desert Storm, or is that
this leads right into Desert Storm? Yes.
Wait, what is Desert? Oh, okay. We're about to find out.
Desert Storm is just because it was like 88 I had in my truck yesterday afternoon driving home from work. And I was like, it's not that bad. I'm going to go get a run in. I was like, Lexi, I'm feeling good today. I'm just going to go get 5 miles in. Biggest mistake of my life.
Coming out of 30-degree weather.
Coming off of 30, 40-degree weather, and then I go right to high 80s, thinking that I could even relatively keep the same pace that I was. Like, within the first half mile, I was like, man, this is getting hard already. And it was just like, when like the breath that you take in is hot and your body like heats up just from breathing the air. It's just horrible. So I had planned to do Go
Sorry,
ahead,
I thought
Jim.
you were done with your. I thought you were done with your thought. I'm sorry, you finished.
No. Okay.
Raise your hand.
we need a little hand raising function on this thing. No, so my plan was to do 5 miles, but because of how hot it was, I turned around at 2, so I got 4 miles in, and like I actually had to stop and walk for a while on an easy run. My heart rate was in like
saw that in your heart
mid to
rate.
high ones. Yeah, my heart rate was mid to high
sharp
170s.
drop.
Yes,
I
yes.
stopped on my
It was-
run
It was
yesterday
painful.
to there was a snapping turtle that was on the snow. But I had that same thing. So when I run out, I've just been doing like 2 miles at a time now just to get back into it. My run out
When the
was
snapping turtle come in, are you circling back around to it? Or
Yeah,
did you just
yeah.
insert it into the story? Okay.
No,
I was, you
he
were like,
said
there's a
his heart
snapping
rate-
turtle in the
Okay,
snow. And then you
weren't
went back to like
listening.
why you were running.
You weren't listening
I
when he
wasn't.
said he stopped and had to walk. And I was like, yeah, your heart rate
Yeah.
took a sharp drop in his workout on Strava. He was like, yeah, that's
Yeah,
what that
I heard
was.
that.
I was like, mine did too, because I stopped to take a picture of a snapping turtle in the snow.
I heard I stopped, and then there's a snapping turtle on the run, and then you went back to the running.
I thought I said I stopped to take a
I
picture of the
stopped to pet a
snapping turtle in
dog.
the snow. And it was just chilling on top of the snow. I think it was super confused at why it was freezing cold on its belly.
send that to
I'm awake, but there's the
But
snow.
when I was running out, it's fine because the sun's at my back, like perfectly down my road. When I run it in the afternoons after work, the sun's at my back going out, and it's right in my face coming back. And it was brutal yesterday. It was hot
Just
sun.
sneezing the whole way in.
That is the trick, isn't it? If you feel like you
That
have to
is.
sneeze, you look right towards the sun.
I have heard that that's because, like what is it, 10% of the population is allergic to the sun or something like that?
No, it's actually because it dilates your pupils and actually dilates some of your blood vessels, capillaries in your face, and it forces the sneeze to happen.
I know how we can find out the answer.
I am
Are you on
typing
it,
it
John?
in as we speak.
I totally made that up.
I heard capillaries. That's all I heard.
Your Kane, your reasoning made sense.
Chat
let's go with
GPT.
Booyah.
Chat GPT. Staring at the sun can cause. This is my take. I'm just kind of guessing.
Just off the head, off the
Cause a
dome.
person to sneeze in some individuals. Why does it give me 4 paragraphs when I ask why do we sneeze when we stare at the sun?
4
This-
paragraphs is nothing to ChatGPT.
This phenomenon, it's not fully understood. It's known as photic. Would it be PHOTIC? Photic or
Photic.
photic?
Photic.
Photic? Photic?
Photic.
Probably photic. I was trying to think of other ways to.
Oh, wow, that's clever.
Photic.
Okay, photic sneeze reflex or achoo. Autosomal dominant compulsive helio-ophthalmic outbursts. Is that a joke?
I think
Yeah.
that's a
Is this a
It's
joke?
got to be pulling that from a joke. Am I being punked right now?
ChatGPT knows you like jokes, so he's like trying to set you up for
It
a
is. It's
joke.
in my triathlon jokes channel.
He knows. Oh, this will get
well,
him.
It's not known. Researchers speculate that it might be related to the way optic nerve,
Ooh.
which controls vision, and the trigeminal nerve, which controls sensation in the face, capillaries, are connected in the brain.
spot on.
It is thought that the bright light might stimulate, I heard that word too, the optic nerve and lead to a cross signal in the trigeminal nerve, which triggers the sneeze reflex. I think you're pretty.
I think I was
spot on
right.
there. Yeah,
I was right.
I think you beat.
I
you're
thought
like
it was
John Henry.
inhaling-
You beat the machine.
I think I automatically win the draft today.
No, because I'm first pick. It's a good draft.
you
beat
beat
the
the
excited.
machine.
I'm
All
excited.
right, I got an idea for one little triathlon tidbit from ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
So I saw this in their advertising. I'm gonna try something out. So I want them to tell a triathlon sentence using the alphabet, and they have to go each letter in succession.
Ooh,
You know what I'm saying?
I like it.
Oh, I
Like
saw
a
Dude Perfect
big
do that.
Yeah.
Centipede.
This is going to be
They
26
add-
sentences?
Yes.
Okay.
Or no, 26 words. 26 words.
26
Oh, I
words in
see.
one
Okay.
sentence.
Yeah, I saw Dude Perfect do something similar where they had to have a conversation, and the start of their sentence had to be the next letter. And they were doing pretty good up until they got to like. No,
Z-
even
I think
Ty.
you kinda-
Ty did Q pretty well, but it was once they got to X, Garrett's just like
Yeah.
xylophone and XY.
What?
And then Ty's
Did
like,
he say
you know?
Y? Oh, you
No,
yeah.
he said xylophone, and Ty's like, I had a feeling you were going to bring up xylophone. Like, what do you got? That or X-ray?
Clever.
And then Garrett finished. He's like, zoodles. Didn't know what else to say.
Yeah, he just ended with that.
Zoodles.
I'm feeling really slow trying to think of how to frame this. Give me a sentence using the first letter of the alphabet. First letter of the.
Give me a 26-word sentence using
a letter of
each letter of the alphabet in
succession.
Succession.
Let's secede.
Give me a sentence using a letter of the alphabet for each word in succession. It'll know what I mean about triathlons. Yep, it's got it. Man, I'm such an idiot. All right.
Hey, you said it.
Here we go. This is the triathlon sentence from ChatGPT. Athletes brave competition, determined endurance, facing grueling hardships in journey, keeping long miles near ocean, pushing quality results, striving toward ultimate victory while zing, yellow, zenith.
Crossing.
Oh, crossing. Okay. I was like, crossing, yellow, zenith. What is zenith?
I don't know.
But is that a word? Can you say, can crossing, is that like work?
Xing.
Xing?
But it's like crossing.
I guess I could have just said Xing. Yeah. I was like, zing? What is zenith?
I mean, if you see an X,
the time at which something is most powerful.
Oh, yellow zenith? Crossing yellow zenith?
Crossing
what is it? Yellow? Is the finish line yellow?
Well, it's like I think they're talking about the sun.
Interesting.
Yellow zenith is like the point at which the sun is directly
striving
above
toward ultimate victory while crossing yellow zenith.
Sure.
Crossing yellow zenith. I think they're talking about just the sun being in a position.
KLMNOP. Yeah, I don't know. I'm checking it. I did it. Pretty good. Gotta verify. Fact
double
check it.
Yeah,
that was nice. That was nice.
Gotta fact check it.
Impressive. A little bit of a run-on sentence, if I might add, but
it was more of a headline. It's a long
headline.
headline. To do. It kind of felt very 50s headline-ish.
I liked it.
Just a little.
So in other news, Jono is going to do a no sugar month. So he is going to not have any added sugars outside of fruits, vegetables, and natural.
I was thinking about it, but I guess I'm committed.
And I'm going to eat
I'm throwing you on the spot. So
I'm going to eat the sugars that he's giving up to see if I can handle it.
Out. Can I have more intake of calories?
I'm going to double my calories and see if it's possible.
I'm going to look like this in a month.
Yeah. It's going to be just like, even like things like sauces, like ketchup. Or like
when we did it, it was
no added sugars, added sugars. Like some were
if fruits, right? Yeah, fruits are fine.
There are some foods that you eat. You pretty much look at the label, and if it included additional sugars, I think it could have sugars, but as long as none of them were added.
I remember is what we did before. Yeah,
right. But like barbecue sauce has sugar.
Yeah, added sugar. You can't have it.
Wouldn't have that.
Yeah.
I had a plate of chicken wings with mustard. And that was
mustard is like the key.
Good.
Zero. I know. Sugar. I love mustard.
Mustard's good.
Straight
too,
yellow.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the little Dijon. Wait, is that loud?
Dijon.
Dijon mustard.
Mustard.
Or like, because I need something with my French fries. I need like
mustard.
Just dry.
I don't know if I do mustard with
no.
Just cover them in water.
Mayo.
Ooh, mayo.
That sounds fat.
Mayo's so fatty. Yeah, I can't do mayo.
Do light mayo.
Oh,
dude,
you don't like fatty. Douse
dip them in water.
I mean, just like it's like congealed. You know what I mean? It's like a congealed.
No, but instead of water, vinegar.
There's a lot of good sugar-free sauces too.
Oh, at the fair when they used to do the vinegar fries.
Yes,
or whatever
that's what I was going to say. At the fair, yep.
I do need to keep vinegar on hand more to put on stuff. So good.
But there's a lot of sugar-free sauces that are really good. There's a sugar-free Chick-fil-A sauce at Walmart. It's so good.
Yeah. I know.
I
haven't tried it yet.
G. Hughes, baby.
I used to use that brand.
I love his sauces.
In my bodybuilding days. Yep.
Yeah.
I want to do almost more of a carnivore with fruit, but I know like I would need money. I'm not going to be like super strict on that. Money, for one. Actually,
just eat ground beef.
Part of a cow in my freezer.
Hey, that's nice.
We should do the what's the guy's name?
Jackal Lane.
Kind of the carnivore guy.
Jordan Peterson.
His daughter, Michaela.
The guy who only eats meat, fruit, and honey.
Yeah, that's
Joe Rogan.
Liver
his,
King.
No, his Instagram is like carnivore 2.0 or something. But we should do that. Just nothing but meat, fruit, and honey.
Theo
I'm
Vaughn.
down. I could do it. Yeah, Theo.
No, I'll find him.
Chat GPT. I'm just gonna say chat. I'm not even gonna say GPT. So it sounds like we have a live show going. Hey, chat.
Paul Saladino. That's his name.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah.
He was on Rogan.
Yeah, he was.
Probably. Rogan loves that.
He was on another popular podcast that is well known.
Hannah's doing like a no. She's not doing no added sugars, but she's doing no like sweets or
candies and
like,
delicious
treats.
pastries.
She does. It's more we go for the baked goods. I don't even do candy that much anymore.
We just hosted Easter dinner at our house, and for Lexi's family, her dad brought a pie and a thing of brownies, and her sister brought a pie and a thing of brownies, and nobody ate any dessert well, 2 people had a piece of pie that day. So we got stuck with 2 pies and 2 pans of brownies. And
wait, did you have a pie on the day of? Did you have a pie the day of? Yeah.
No, not a whole one.
You're trying to mask it like it wasn't a whole pie I had, but it's like, oh, did you?
No, it's funny because like 3 days later, wait, how long ago was Easter? Was it 3 days ago? Because there's not much of the pie left.
4. It was Sunday.
Okay, so then 2 days. 4. Yeah, 2 days after. So Tuesday, I go to open the fridge, and I look at the pie. I'm like, Lexi, who ate all of this banana cream pie? And she looks at me like, what are you talking about? I'm like, there's no way I ate this much of this pie. I ate almost the entire thing in 2 days.
Awesome. I almost ate a whole sheet of dirt cake on Easter.
Just dirt.
Amanda made. Dad made the cinnamon roll, like the crescent roll with the cream cheese.
That
cinnamon.
One's too sweet for me now.
Oh, that's so good. But I didn't eat any. If I started on that, but then I had some of that dirt cake, and then I went hard on the dirt cake. It was for the kids, but I was like, no, it's mine.
I hate that my mentality is I can't throw this out, so I need to eat it. Like that's such a dumb reason. Like so much things get thrown out. If I'm just going to process it into my body and then pack it on for later, why? More work later.
The problem, the thing I have is not that I throw it out. It's that like if I eat all this right now, then I cannot eat this like in the next few days. So it's like if I don't eat this ice cream, if I just get ice cream right now, I won't fail the next few days with ice cream. I'll have no ice cream.
Yeah, there's
I'll eat it all.
And then you stop.
Your body can only store a certain amount of calories at once, right? So if you eat a lot at once, only some calories stick.
Man, that would be nice if we could cap how quickly we could gain weight.
Storage.
Dude, I was talking to Scott about this. I think there is a fat max that people have. You know, like where your body
800-pound man checks
your body will get to a certain weight, and then you have to actively try to eat more than that, like to get bigger than what that is. So like not comfortably, I think my body, if I'm just eating and not trying to limit myself I'd probably be somewhere at like a 300-pound range. But then to get past that, I would have
big
to actively,
anyway, so it's not like...
No, I know. I'm not like, I'm just saying like in the theory of a fat max, like if you ate without caring what you're eating, and like how big would you get, you know, before you like level out, and then you'd have to actively try to eat past that in a way. So I think I could be like 300 pounds, and then whatever I ate wouldn't matter. I would just maintain that weight 300 unless I try to get past it.
Once you hit that 300, that shame sets in.
No, I know.
Fuel to the fire.
I know. I was like, I was talking to Scott. I was like, I wonder if my fat max is low enough that I'd be okay with it to enjoy the terrible food. But I don't want to try to find it, because if it's 320, then we're in real bad shape. So I'm going to try to...
I want to get my body used to, or not used to sugars, because then like when I go through these kind of like month no sugars, then like the next few weeks I'm slowly ramping it back up, but I feel miserable whenever I like drink a soda, whenever I do something like that. So I just got to try to elongate that time of no sugar and recovery before I start just diving in again. I know I can't do it for a year. I could, but I don't want to.
You can do it. It's like you do so good for so long, and then there's like this one event, like you go to a birthday, or like you just have this craving this one day, and it just derails your entire
everything, dude.
Philosophy.
That's where if you have those, like, okay, I'm going to do it, but then just get right back on it the next day. That daily discipline compared to like a longevity of discipline, because if you break that chain in the longevity one, then you're like, okay, throw it out, Go grab the
Yeah,
brownies.
but if you keep
Yeah,
repeating certain habits and getting in McDonald's wraps every morning for breakfast, those sausage burritos every morning for breakfast, or the steak, egg, and cheese bagel. I've been on a very bad McDonald's. I stopped it now. I actually actively today went by when I was like, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get breakfast again because it's so good. It feels so good. And then I was like, no, I'm gonna stop it right now. And I drove.
Was that conversation out loud in the car? I'm gonna get this.
Well,
You're just talking to yourself.
Do it, Jim. Do it, Jim.
I punched that gas pretty hard when I went by it. And I was like, no, not today. Not today. I'm going to be strong.
Not today, Satan.
And I'm hoping that rolls over into
fist.
I'm hoping that rolls over into the next,
Yeah.
I hope I can stop.
It's those little wins.
Habit. It became a habit.
Yeah.
Every morning I was like,
Micro
oh,
wins.
McDonald's. Yeah.
You just speed past McDonald's at 90 an hour.
Every morning. 35, close my eyes and just punch it.
I'm
It's
not
a small
stopping.
win, but it's a big win.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I think I can stay away from it now. Like usually it does take that one thing from my mind to be able to avoid it later. Because it was just so habit. It was a habit that I was in. I'm not going to say the number. A lot of sausage burritos and a Diet Coke.
I'm not going to say the number.
Oh,
Is it okay? Let's put the over under at
over under 3 a morning sausage burritos.
Yes.
Oh, so you're saying over? I don't have a sheet, but I'll give you a thumbs. I think. But what if you picked even? Well, I'll go under.
Wait, it's over.
Oh, wait, in a
sounds
morning?
like it wasn't even close.
It was close.
So, wait, it's way over.
Well, they're small
good.
though.
They're so good. They're smaller, yeah. Or I would get. It was either the burritos. I never really mixed them. Well, actually, no, I did. It was either the burritos or 2 sausage, egg, and cheese bagels. And I looked. I'm like, this is 2 full bagels. 2 full bagels with like a lot in it.
The cows.
I was like, that's 2 full bagels. That's like for breakfast. People usually eat 1 bagel, if that. They usually eat a half. I was like, this is 2 full bagels. But it tastes so good.
You're running a half marathon every day, so you burn less calories.
I wish. Why do they make it taste so? It's so stupid.
Well, this is a good transition into our first segment because I think it pertains to our conversation. So let's go right into it.
Question of the day.
Oh, so you just like that slight giggle.
I was gonna just say open banter just to be funny, but open banter. It just confused you.
All right, what's the question of the day?
Question of the day. What benefits do you get from committing to train towards a goal? So obviously we're in the context of training towards a triathlon or half Ironman for 2 of us anyway.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, Kane bailing. No, I'm just kidding. I'm over it.
I'm over it.
So what benefits, Kane, how about you start? Do you get from committing to train towards a goal?
Put me on the spot. I mean, I think the biggest thing from and not from a physical standpoint, but just from like an all-encompassing standpoint is the saying, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. So you're going to approach this goal the same way you would approach like a business goal or, another personal goal in your life. So if you can get your mind around the fact that you have this goal and you need to commit to a certain amount of time and a certain amount of effort and energy and resources into completing this goal, then it's just, these experiences of pushing your body to the next level and, putting your body through this thing that's going to help you achieve the next goal and the next goal. And it doesn't even have to be about fitness anymore. It's about, anything in your life.
Yeah. On top of that, I feel like for me, the biggest thing, and it's kind of pretty much in line with what you said, is the consistency of life. I feel like everything, when I'm committing to train towards specifically a fitness goal or like an event, I feel like it's easier to get everything else in my life in line as well. If I'm planning out these specific things for the goal that I'm going for, everything else falls in line with it, and I work out those things as well. And when I'm kind of sporadic and chaotic, it feels like everything, not falling apart, but it just feels like my mind kind of scattered. So I think the biggest thing for me is like everything falling in line.
It's kind of like when you have this, like when you let your work back up and you're procrastinating and you got like all this stuff to do. And it's like, when it gets that big, it just gets so overwhelming that it's like you don't even know where to start. But if you just start chipping away, it's like you do this one goal, right? And you pick a plan for this one goal, then it's like you're saying, everything else just seems that much easier because you just picked a spot and you started, and now you're just chipping away at the big block that it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for me, it's a big denial of self. So if I don't have a goal in place in any sort, then I just kind of just float with whatever my passions and emotions feel in that moment. And that is such a destructive way to live. It's just continuously allowing whatever desire comes over you to pursue that. And so even one goal, you have to deny yourself in some way, but you have to deny other areas of your life. So it's like one goal will help like tighten up your life in your habits and your, what's the word? Where you do stuff repetitively. Dad has one every morning.
Routines.
Whatever. I think
That's the
movement.
word.
Bowel movement. That's right. Part of the routine, huh? No, routine. And so I think having a goal, and especially where I see specifically with triathlons with this, is it has affected multiple different things. So it's like, well, even like finances, like, I want to be able to buy more stuff for triathlon. So I need to like understand my finances in a deeper way to be able to allocate different funds, or timing of when I want to spend with kids. Cause like, this is going to be a lot of time training. So I'm waking up earlier so I can get stuff in earlier in the morning. It's just crazy the trickle effect this itself has done. And then our commitment to the podcast and stuff. And so, but having that specific goal and signing up for it, if I hadn't signed up for it yet, I'm sure my training is not where it needs to be anyway, but would be a lot less. So the denial of self and the denial of like your desires to focus on that goal is a huge benefit.
Yeah, I think just building off a little bit what you said is it can be a destructive way to live, of just kind of going with the flow and letting whatever happen. Because I wouldn't say it's inherently destructive, but it can be, because you're not actively guiding your life towards the morals that you have put in place. Yeah. Where was I going with that? But I think that it's also a very inefficient way to live too. Like if you have goals that you actually want to reach and you're not actively doing these things and putting these disciplines in place, then it's a very inefficient way to get towards them. That's why they say things that are tracked are, what's that saying? If it's tracked, it's measured, it's
perfect.
It's perfect. No, then it happens. If it's measured, it happens, is basically the gist of it.
Yeah.
You have been measured and found wanted.
Found wanted.
That's what I thought when you said that. What is that off of?
That's on Knight's Tale.
Knight's Tale, yeah.
You have been measured and found wanting. You have been, like, you've been measured and you've come up short, basically. Found wanting.
Wanting, yeah. Yeah.
I had one more thought with it, but I typed it into ChatGPT too, but if anybody else has other thoughts, I could go over.
My biggest thing was the
highlights.
Consistency of the rest of my life following in line. It just feels like I have a better, straightforward. Everything feels like it falls in the line and is straightforward, and I know what to do in more aspects of my life than if I'm not actively pursuing a goal. Then it's like just scattered.
And the wins, like even the little micro wins every day, like getting up, working out, like it like part built into us.
Compounds.
Innately. Yeah, it just grows. And having that, if you don't have any goals, if you don't have any desires to shoot to where you have to make it difficult, it's difficult to accomplish it, then that's where you see a lot of people who are very successful and they just kind of go nuts after, like, they're very successful and then they just have a lot and then they just don't have like that next goal. If they just retire and don't have anything to pursue, they just kind of go wayward and understanding what they want. And die.
Yeah.
That's exactly what chat said.
Is what?
Die?
No, I'm just kidding.
Go wayward.
I got to keep remembering to treat it like it's our live chat. I'm going to try to do that.
Yes, indeed. I will say one more comment that I have on this is kind of the flip side, or the dark side of being too committed and too disciplined towards too many things in your life at one time.
Yeah.
I think that it can be very overwhelming to try to do everything so perfectly all the time and at the same time. If you're trying to, manage your budget and, very strictly manage your diet and train towards some physical goal to have, like a marathon race or something like that, while also maintaining your family life and having time for your family, and then all of your business aspirations as well, and trying to do all of these things. If you overload yourself, you can quickly burn out. And I was actually listening to another podcast earlier today about the bad effects of going too hard for too long with not enough sleep and meditation and all these things to make sure that you're unwinding and taking care of yourself at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. Because if one of those falls, then it's so easy to link that into the other things. Well, like, oh, I failed here, I'm going to fail here. But it like, I have a lot of ambition for a lot of things, and just a very active mind and personality. And so I'm like, oh, I want to make it to this. I want to get to here. I want to get to there. And I feel like all these things should be going at the same time. But really the key is like focusing on one thing, doing that really well. And then as you progress, and like, that doesn't even have to be a focus much anymore. Then you're able to shift focus. And I was funny illustration, but I was that way in RuneScape all the time. RuneScape, for those who don't know, was that old video game, or it's still pretty sweet and still active. I don't know what style is it? RPG or no, MMO?
Yeah, MMORPG.
Massive multiplayer online and role-playing
game. Yeah.
So you had, I don't even know how many skills you had to like increase. And I was so worried about getting all of them at the same level at the same time. And I would never progress anything. And I wouldn't get that feedback. Because if you focus on one thing and you see this massive leap and success, then it's very, it's like the snowball effect. Then it's like, oh, I could take that, bring it to the next thing. But if you're just incremental in all the things, then it's like, oh, whatever, I'll give up.
So it can be inefficient to just go with the flow and do whatever, but it can also be inefficient to try to be too disciplined at too many things at the same time.
Definitely.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Indeed, sir.
All right. Well, our chat here, some people wrote in. Feel disingenuous when I say it that way. So what this gives you, it gives you improved physical fitness. Some people said enhanced mental health. I can't keep doing it like that. I was trying to act like it's our chat, like people writing into us.
I know, but it's all very basic. Are they all basic?
Yeah, they're pretty basic. Sense of accomplishment. We talked about.
Anybody in the chat want to get deep?
And social connections. Hey, that's good. We didn't touch on that.
That is true.
Having a goal.
There have been a lot of good connections through that. Yeah. And we hope to establish more.
Yeah. Because like humans by nature are such social creatures. I mean, the reason that we have towns and villages and gatherings and do all these things together is because we want to be together, and we feed off social gatherings and being with other people. So I think that
sense of purpose and goal. Like, think of like when you're first coming out of college and it was like, okay, what do I want to do? Or like, where am I going to go? I was kind of a little more aimless, but like if someone told you this is the only job you can do, and you can only do this, you can't ever get another job the rest of your life, and you just have to settle on that. But then it's like, okay, now I can do this one job as like, okay, I have no choice. I don't have to be thinking about, oh, what if it's better over there? What if it's better over here? And just dig in at this one thing. I had that thought one time. I was like, that would be so comforting. Like if I was like, hey, I don't have an option. This is the one thing. All right, I'm going to do this the best of my abilities and just like crush it at this. But having that tribe and that community around you, that's like focused toward that one goal for sure.
Right on.
Increased knowledge and skills. Kind of talked about that too. Thanks, chat. Anyway,
that was all of them.
That was all of them.
All the chat.
Thanks. All of
there was a lot more words, as the chat likes to do. They just type and type, but
a lot of fillers.
I didn't read them all. A lot of fillers. It's like getting that essay count. Anyway, no, that's good. As I was thinking about that today, I thought this would be a good question to discuss, go over, and see what your thoughts are.
I like it. That was a good one.
Cool. All right. Well,
see, it isn't all just jokes on this podcast. We do
sometimes we get
sometimes
down the nitty gritty, serious
gritties. Get on. All right. Well, we'll get right on to the next segment.
Spot the lie.
I'm ready.
All right.
Call you out.
This feels like it gets harder every single.
I had a good one the other day and I forgot it.
We've never beaten you.
Yeah,
not for all three.
Oh, I did beat you on one thing. We haven't gotten best of 3 now.
Yeah.
Together you have, but not like single-handedly. You guys haven't.
I don't know if Kane's ever gotten one.
I don't think I've gotten a single one right.
I've read you a little bit, and that. But otherwise, it was
there was one where you guys were getting all of them except for the last one. There was two like in a row that you both got. Like it was so easy, and I was like, "Well, this is dumb." And then the third one was actually okay, kind of. Okay. All right, here we go. You know the drill. We got 3 different spot the lie list of facts and lie, possibly. Maybe they're all facts.
Lax
here we go.
And fi.
First, do that one time. Just give us all real stuff.
Yeah. Free divers can hold their breaths for more than 10 minutes. Okay. There is enough water in an Olympic-sized pool to take 5,000 baths. The first swimming goggles were made from tortoise shells.
I think I think I got one. I got it. I'm committed.
Yep, I know what I'm picking.
Okay. What do you pick, Jono?
Number 2.
Number 1.
5,000 baths.
Number 1.
Kane, you're wrong on number 1.
Number 1 was right. Number 2 is false. It's about it was about 10,000 baths.
Ooh,
so that was like a math one.
That one,
it's hard
to me. No, that was a good one.
To
me, it felt like it was the most likely, and the other 2 seemed pretty crazy. But I knew the first one, the world record for free diver was 17 minutes holding their breath.
I thought it was like 9 minutes. So when you said 10, I was like, it's under 10.
Wrong.
Yeah. Over under.
I was thinking over under.
Tell us the story about the old tortoise shell. You could have made a pair of goggles on your run today.
No, it wasn't a tortoise.
There is no turtle. Story. I don't know what that was.
No, I'm curious.
There was 0 story. If you want to find out, there was no story on that though.
Those are good. They're fun.
All right, round 2. So Jono has 1. Kane's out.
Point. Ooh, I might be able to I might be able to take the house on this one.
I'm cheering for you now, Jonathan.
All right, here we go. Round 2. Before building airplanes, the Wright brothers built bicycles. The most common crime in Amsterdam is bike theft.
The Wright brothers.
75% of all transportation in the Netherlands is on bike.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Oh!
Nice! Swim, bike, run.
Swim, bike, run. Swim, bike,
run. So 1, 2. What was to say 2 again?
The most common crime in Amsterdam is bike theft.
And the first one was the Wright brothers used
Before building airplanes, the Wright brothers built bicycles.
All right, I think I'm going to go for one. I'm going to shoot my shot.
Okay. Do I go first? I'll go first because I'm out.
You go first.
Ready, set, go. Number 1. I pick.
Wrong.
Darn.
The lie was 75% of all transportation in the Netherlands is on bike. It's actually like 30%.
Oh, wow.
It's still
cars,
a lot.
Then?
It's still a lot. But 75 is a ton on bike.
Is that
a lot?
How is that calculated? Or do you know?
The website.
Okay. AI.
I'm literally pulling it off of websites. All this could be wrong.
No, it's
from what I found.
14th century, the oldest record of anything goggle-like being used was by the ancient Persians, who used tortoiseshell to cover their eyes while diving for valuable pearls.
And they had no idea they found 0 pearls because the shells were on their eyes.
Because they couldn't see.
There's
it's really dark down there.
Pretty great image here, though. I'm going to send over to you guys on the old Discord.
It's very dark down there.
I would share my screen, but I don't know if I can here.
Oh boy.
Awesome. All right. Well, we can look at that later. I'm going to go on to the next one, okay? And the next one you might have guessed will be running. Okay, here we go.
Kane saw it.
It doesn't help.
Yeah. Okay, running.
Sorry. I love it. I want to dress like that. All right. The world Okay, here, this is the running one. The world record for running a half marathon backwards is 1 hour and 40 minutes.
Why would
this record was set in Germany? The winner of the 1904 Olympic marathon completed most of the course in a car.
We both did at the same time.
This last one, I mean,
just read it. No comments.
lactic acid makes breast milk taste sweeter. I realize that's not like lactic acid, but I realize it's not like a really running.
Okay, that's how you got to it, was lactic acid buildup.
I looked at it, I'm like, wait, that has nothing to do with running.
Lactic acid.
Wait, I'm sorry. Can you repeat them?
Okay. The first one, the world record for running a half marathon backwards is 1 hour and 40 minutes. Okay. And this record was set in Germany. The winner of the 1904 Olympic marathon completed most of the course in a car.
Okay.
And lactic acid makes breast milk taste sweeter.
Gotta get the cows to run.
True.
Run through strawberry and chocolate fields.
Yeah. I'm going to say I'll go 1.
2. I'm going 2.
Yeah. I mean, I don't get how number 2 is, but I'm excited to hear.
You are both wrong. And I will explain the ones. Lactic acid makes
sour.
Breast milk taste sour.
Darn it. I was thinking that.
I was like, why? Yeah, if it's not running pertaining, he just pulled it down.
I didn't. I was so confused because I was looking through it. I was reading now what I wrote down. And I was like, where is the running part of this? And I was like, how did I get this? It was all from a website, but I'm like, how did I
just add in after running, building up after running.
Running builds up lactic acid.
Which also, in turn.
So I'll explain the 1904 Olympic marathon because that was interesting. So what happened was that marathon specifically was scorching hot, and the guy who was winning fell down or something, and then he had to get carried in a car. He passed out and was heat stroke, whatever. He had to ride in a car for a while, and the car died because it was so hot. So he had to get out and run the rest of it. And when he showed up to the arena that they were running to, everyone started cheering like he won. And so he technically crossed the line first. So he acted like he was just to save face. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm the first one in here." Then the other ones came in after him who actually won. So he crossed the line first, and everyone cheered like he was the winner, but he was not.
So he cheated.
Yeah. I mean, you can't finish a marathon at all from a car. So, all right, Kane got 0 of those right. Too bad you're not as good at this as you are at over under.
I know. I'll keep my over under. I don't care. I'm proud of that.
Well, I'm really good at this.
I win every time. 60% of the time, I win all the time.
Good work, guys, and good work, me.
All right. That was good. Good little filler.
Again, I don't know if all those are right or not, though. I'm pulling them off of websites. If you want to write in and dispute any of it, you are free to do so.
We will not listen.
All right, let's go into our
Unlaced draft.
All right, we got a special. Oh wait,
we got to make our own draft beer and just call it the.
Can you guys
Unlaced.
hear this?
That's a really good idea.
That's really good. Okay, can you guys hear this?
Because
this is how I'm going to explain.
Okay, I'm hearing. Yes.
All right. Yeah. So tonight we are drafting a triathlon team of presidents from all presidents past, not future. Presidents
of the United States.
Of the United States only. Jono can do that because he's actually in the armed forces.
Yeah, I was going to do hand on my heart, but I'm not in uniform.
I'm going to let it play out. The draft order, this is our typical triathlon team that we're drafting, one for each event. Our draft order is me, Kane, then Jono. And this is a lot harder than you might think because there is a lot of good presidents.
Our presidents are athletes,
a lot of Chad presidents.
A lot of Chads.
All right, so I'm first, names. And I have been really struggling with this pick, but I'm going to have to go first with the swim. And I'm going to take President Ronald Reagan.
Dang it.
That's a good pick.
I feel like he's the best swimmer of all the presidents.
Yeah,
he won, he was in the swimming Hall of Fame for his college. I feel like that had to be the swim first pick. So it's tough, though. There's so many good picks. I feel like, John, you're in a good spot being last pick and having two.
I do get the doubles.
Yeah.
All right, Kane.
Yeah. Well, I am going to pick the other
Swimming president.
swimming president
Is it this one?
from what I could find.
Is it this
I
one?
I don't have the doc up.
Oh wait,
so I'm
John,
not
do you have it open?
sure.
Shoot. Did
Doesn't
you see it, John?
matter.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Oh. So this guy was not on a swim team, but he was known as a frequent swimmer.
I think it's the
He
one
played
I
on the national championship football teams at Michigan, and was the team MVP in 1934. So super strong athlete.
We're
and
looking
a
at the
frequent
same
swimmer is
article. Dang it.
Gerald Ford.
Jerry.
Now, what number president was he, Kane?
He was the 24th.
24 presidents by 1934 only, huh?
Yeah, so maybe, yeah, that's about right. Yeah,
They do. I have no clue. I have no
idea. I don't know.
Sorry, Gerald.
Don't put me on the spot. Ask ChatGPT.
Well, you could just
Okay,
ask
I'm not
Google
even-
too.
I am asking Google. Gerald Ford.
He
Gerald
was
is
number
the-
38.
Kane, you were close.
Ish.
Only 12 off.
Close-ish.
14 off.
All right, Jono, you're up.
Oh man. All right. I just have to go. This is also like I think a good pick, but this is a preference pick as well. My number one, because I get two. I'm going to do that one first. For the bike, this man
Okay.
is a dedicated rider. He is a rough, gruff, tough, old man.
Teddy?
Old
Yeah.
Teddy Roosevelt.
Really?
I'm going to pick him in his prime, of course.
Well,
Riding the bike.
all
He
these
used to-
are in
yeah,
prime.
He used to
Not
ride a horse so much, being in a saddles he's not unfamiliar with.
Wait,
So
he used to ride a horse, is what you're saying.
yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
Oh,
saddle.
okay. He'd be okay.
Yeah,
He's a tough and gruff.
come
Yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah.
This is
No, I
playing
get
on
it.
words here. All right.
I thought he rode bike.
Introducing my boy Teddy. All right, I'm happy you didn't take him.
Are we
'cause
back to the
he was
horse
my
camel?
favorite. Yes, he wins. And then I have to finish reading this article to make sure this is the one I want. So I don't have a swim, do I?
You don't have to do that to the last pick, though.
Yeah,
I have a
know.
good swim that if you don't find on your own, I will not tell you, but I will tell you after the draft. Because
Yeah,
I
found
almost
it.
picked him because there's one other one that's like awesome.
I
And
know.
I wanted to
screwed
pick
up.
him just for how awesome he was.
I screwed up. I should have picked that one.
Here, Kane, I'm going to whisper it to you.
Oh yeah. This one was pretty obvious swimmer that I have. I would want him like I could get a
Bullet to the head.
Yeah, bullet to the head.
Whoa.
JFK.
Okay, remember in the office when my
That's why I didn't finish it.
I know. Okay, in the office, Michael made a joke. He's like, "I've been pretty good at." He's like, "We just recently allowed to make Lincoln jokes or something."
Yeah.
I need to see this play. Like, I need a bullet to the head.
That's why I made the joke.
And for the second time,
Wait,
Jimmy
wait.
has been kicked off of our podcast.
Yeah, right. Is this
I
for the
want
swim,
him
John?
like I need a.
John, this is for the swim.
This is for the swim because the image.
Was that your pick, King?
That's who I was going to pick for.
Really?
Yeah, because he was a letter-winning swimmer at Harvard.
Yeah, he was a Harvard swimmer. But you know who else is a really cool swimmer? John Quincy Adams. He just went and
JQA.
he just went and swam all the time. Is what I
He
was
was
reading.
a swimmer.
Let me see if I can find it. President John Quincy Adams may perhaps be the first of the presidents who loved to swim. As the sixth president of the United States, there was not yet a White House pool. In this case, President Adams elected to wake early every morning and swim in the Potomac River. Given the era, swimsuits did not yet exist, so Adams swam nude. According to an article, President Adams was so well known for his swimming schedule that one of the first female journalists at the time, blah, 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 sure sat on the president's clothes. What? Okay, but he swam all the time. That's basically it. I thought that was pretty cool. He sounded pretty awesome.
That is pretty cool. So there's an article on JFK that says, so he swam at Harvard, but his most notable swimming feat was in World War II after his PT-109
people.
was sunk. Yeah, he had chronic back issues. JFK towed an injured crewman to an island by dragging him with the strap of his life vest in his teeth.
Yeah.
That's
He's tough.
grit
Baller.
and determination.
Yeah. And Ronald Reagan went in the Hall of Fame, but that's pretty cool too.
Yeah.
No, JFK is actually a really good pick. Kane, you kind of the
Saved a
Gerald
life,
Ford.
but
Yeah.
Gerald Ford is like the most athletic president, so I had to pick him.
Ronald Reagan went to the Hall of Fame for swimming.
Yeah, I missed the JFK.
Ronald Reagan's swimming ability allowed him to save over 70 lives throughout the 5 years he was lifeguard.
Yes.
Cool.
Yep. Okay, my turn, right?
Yeah, this is really interesting, actually. We should just do a podcast talking about the athletic feats of president. That's awesome. Yeah, your turn, Kane. What are you taking? What's discipline?
I'm going to do the run.
No. Okay. Oh, no. Okay.
So there is a president who completed a marathon.
No!
And he was still running sub 7-minute miles years later.
Oh, man.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it's awesome. He was,
that
was going to be my initial first pick. So who is it?
It's George W. Bush.
Yep. He was going to be my initial first pick.
Oh,
dude.
My article about him said he was number 2 for athlete because I just said athlete overall. The article I looked up.
Mm-hmm.
He was a big biker too, which is what I was going to take him in because he was a really good biker. Okay.
Is he on Strava?
Yeah, I follow him. No. All right. So I'm going to pick. I was probably really loud, and I'm probably going to get in trouble for that. I'm usually loud anyway. So my pick, I'm going to pick. I get the rest of them. I'm going to pick. Wait, where's this at? I'm sorry. Oh, my biker president is going to be President Woodrow Wilson.
Ooh. Tell us.
And I'm gonna give you toss you some knowledge here. What's far less known was that Wilson was an ardent cycle tourist who spent long vacations cycling around Britain, one time in the company of America's most experienced State Department official, blah, blah, blah. Inside, he spent 60 days a year cycle touring in Europe. It's highly probable that Wilson's interest in good roads started when he was a cyclist during his earlier career as a law and politics professor at Princeton University. And he spent many vacations cycle touring in northern England. So he was just biking all the time. So he's going to be comfortable on the bike. That's
he once went on a trip of more than 200 miles from York to London.
He was a monster.
It's pretty tough. However,
and that's before road bikes.
He did not ever ride in the Tour de France. So,
all right,
they were at war.
I'm either.
I don't know what year we're talking.
I'm going to get my either A or B picks for all my things, so I'm kind of happy for that.
I got it. Is it mine now?
No, it's mine. It's my last pick,
and then it's mine.
And for my run, I'm going to pick.
But I have a run, so
I'm going to. Well, here's your run right here. For my run, I'm going to pick the Peanut Man,
Ooh.
Jimmy Carter.
Ooh.
Old Jimmy,
right? Yeah.
Peanut Man. Was his nickname?
He had the peanut farm, right?
Oh.
It was a peanut farm, wasn't it? Jimmy Carter had a peanut farm, right? He had to sell it when he sold his peanut farm when he got elected, so he didn't business didn't mix with being president.
Yeah.
Cool. Is that not him?
Sure. I don't know.
But he was an avid runner. I don't have the article up, but I type in Jimmy Carter running and it talks about campaigns.
That seems legit.
But he was a very good runner. But not on the level of George Bush, which is nuts.
Wait, the old senior, right?
No, George W. George W. was the guy.
I thought
yeah.
I H. W.
No, George W. was
He's the runner.
He was a monster, dude. He's a biker, a runner.
Let me tell you, run fast.
I'm going to start fast and I'm going to end faster.
So, can we go back through who was all picked so far?
Okay. So far, I'm going to run down the list.
Yeah, you have all 3. So.
Let me run down the list really quick. Give me a second. Okay, for my swim, I have President Ronald Reagan. For my bike, I have President Woodrow Wilson. For my run, I have President Jimmy Carter. Kane, for his swim, has President Gerald Ford. For his run, he has President George W. Bush. Jono, for his bike, has President Theodore Roosevelt. And for his swim, John F. Kennedy.
Love it.
I love having that drop.
Oh, it's so good. Need more of that in my life. Every time I wake up, that's my alarm. That should be my new alarm. That'd be just great. Out of bed.
ready to start the day.
Just coming up like that.
Man,
that's
gonna
awesome.
sprint out of bed. I'm ready.
I love it.
Bike, Mr. Reisner. Who is your biker?
Just some more backstory on Gerald Ford. By the way,
That's not going to help you, but okay.
He swam laps in the White House pool almost every day of his presidency.
Okay.
So
Did he go in
good
the
swimming shape.
Hall of Fame?
Yeah, the White House Hall of Fame.
The White House Swimming Hall of Fame.
Yes.
I'm going to pick
To
some
be
of those
specific.
Secret Service guys who were just swimming right alongside him.
Oh, there we go.
I like it.
A Glock in their hand.
One in the front,
Misfiring
one on the
underwear.
side, one on the...
With their suits on still.
Yeah, with this, and their ear things.
Banking
Okay.
right, banking right.
President kick turning. Here we go.
Okay. My final pick, my cycling pick, my biking pick is going to be the OG numero uno, Jorge Washington.
Wait,
Let's go.
Yes.
Old Georgie. I was going to go for him.
Old Georgie Slave.
All right, then I'm gonna pick my alternative. It was more of a joke, but I'm still gonna do it.
Wait, you were going to pick George for the run?
I was thinking about it. He's the OG. Just go for him, right? I mean,
Yeah,
he was in
you
a
have
war.
to.
Dude,
He was in
wait.
a war.
You know who I wanted? I'll tell you who I
won
wanted
the
to pick.
war.
Just out of like intenseness of
I have one.
president. Is
I have
it
one.
who I think it is?
I think so.
Is it Mr.
Adolf? No. Oh, U.S. president. U.S. president.
Canceled. Oh shoot. I was waving my hand.
know.
Canceled.
I know. You're just,
But I waved it up a little too high accidentally.
because you don't want to hit your screen.
No. Yeah, I know. I'm going to put my hand on my back.
Okay. All right. For the run. Just
run?
because this is the final event and you got to make up lost time.
You need a tough guy.
Well, you need a tough
Yeah.
guy, but you need a kind of a sneaky guy to be able to.
Oh, yeah.
To get you. If you need an extra little something to happen to somebody or to fudge the time, you just want to. I'm picking Nixon.
Okay.
I trust he'll get the job done. Let me put it that way.
Understood.
Wait, why can't I think of his first name?
Richard.
Richard. I was thinking
Richard.
Ronald. That's my boy.
It's my boy. You're my boy, Blue.
Run. I
it.
thought, okay. Well, okay, let's go through. We each get to do our. I'm going to love that every time. All right. For my draft, my swim is going to start with, I did in order. President Ronald Reagan. And my bike, followed up on the bike, is avid cyclist President Woodrow Wilson. And finishing off the marathon, President Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy picked Jimmy.
Layers. We have
Nice.
layers.
I like the sound.
Super long though. It's 36 seconds.
You know what's cool is your first two picks were RR and then WW. and then you broke the streak with JC.
Dub. RR. Ooh.
Kane, your turn.
So, and now the second team, Kane Reisner. To start it off with his swim, he picked Gerald Ford. And following it up with the run, he picked the avid marathoner George W. Bush. And to finish off his team with the one and the only and the OG of the presidents, George Washington.
Well picked. Good job, Mr. President.
You guys are timing these perfectly for the drop.
Nice.
Now,
And for my swim, I had the one, the only, John F. Kennedy. We will get to the moon and to the pool. And for my bike, the Rough Rider himself is not unfamiliar with a saddle of any type, the bike or the horse.
you got 5 seconds left of the
Theodore
drop.
Roosevelt And finally, the man to bring it home who will get the job done. Richard Nixon.
Perfect on the drive.
That's a pretty good voice there, huh?
This might have been the most fun draft we've done.
It's super fun. We need more music like that.
I love
Yes,
that.
just keep
I need to
feeding
get
it.
better drops to be able to do on this.
Yeah, that's good.
So
That's
okay,
incredible.
another president I wanted to do just out of like sheer intenseness and like strength was Andrew Jackson.
Oh,
Just because
he was a hardball, man.
Dude,
yeah,
that dude died with like 12 bullets inside of him.
I believe that.
Is that Stonewall?
There's a story
I
about this guy.
First name's Andrew. I always thought it was
This guy
Stonewall.
like came up and shot him in the chest, and he just brought the guy outside and beat him with his cane almost to death.
What?
With a bullet in his chest.
Oh my goodness.
That's insane.
Yeah, I got to tell you guys about that podcast for the president. It's so good when they talk about them. Like they don't talk about their in office. They talk about just their lives.
like
Well, no, they
their
talk about them in
lives.
office, but just their lives in general too. And how like they're like some of these presidents are just like major dorks, like these old ones that we revere so much. Are like these guys are just like nerds that want to have war just because they're awful.
That's crazy.
That was so much fun.
Different times back then.
That was very good. That was a good draft.
I don't
That
think
was my
Andrew
favorite
Jackson's
draft.
a great person. He's just a tough guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if any of these are great people. They are great in their accomplishments. Let's give them
This
that.
would be tough to vote on.
Indeed.
Let's give them that. Well
Yeah.
done, presidents, and all that you've done. Thank you for your service.
Thank you
Yeah.
All right. Well, you can comment
America.
on Spotify. Not comment. You can choose the draft winner in your opinion.
This is our
Salute in
outro.
there.
the song.
And we thank you for joining us today for Unlaced, episode 19.
Am I allowed to do that, or is that? Sorry,
You can do it. Yeah.
is that stolen valor?
Hey, if you're wearing a hat, it goes to the outer rim of the hat. You take it out here. Well, if you have any questions or corrections, email us at unlacedtry@gmail.com. You can subscribe to us on YouTube at Unlaced Triathlon. We post these on YouTube as well, and rate and review us on any of the major podcast platforms of your choice. We thank you for joining us today for this wonderful journey through history. Good night and amen.
I hope I'm not